Well, to be honest, I still can't get over what we witnessed last time at Portman Road.
There's all sorts of heavyweight. Just takes one shot. Can Usyk get up? I don't think he's going to make it. It's unbelievable.
Yes, an incredible ending, but let's have it right, there's no denying he was getting a bit walloped about before that.
He's got to deal with this. Very, very confident Justice Hooney, who's put a combination.
He's 3-2 up now. He's boxing really well here at the minute, and I get the impression that Fabio's feeling a little bit sorry for himself.
He needs to do that now. He needs to find something again. Good shot from Hooney. He's hurt here. Body shot back from Wardley, but he just eats up another. Fabio Wardley, and he's beginning to showing a good chin as always, but he's just chipping away.
Anyway, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter that Hooney was having his way? Because in the end, Fabio won. So I suppose, fuck it. Nobody gave a shit about the bronze bomber looking a bit pants in the majority of his fights because we always knew what was coming. 5 great big knuckles smack bang on the button. However, for Deontay, his not-so-secret weapon just wasn't as effective when he finally arrived at the top. And now here we are, with Fabio Wardley arriving at the top also against the very informed Joseph Parker. So could we see a similar story for the Ipswich sensation, or with that monstrous right hand, can he do the business? Now, I'm not going to beat about the bush, I don't know about you, but I fucking love it. Deal me in, baby. We all know Parker deserves the Usyk fight, but that ain't going to happen anytime soon, if even at all. Usyk seems to be enjoying his break, cutting some shapes and all that, and anyway, when Parker got in the ring and asked him to make the fights, he managed to let Gareth A. Davis steal his thunder.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
You look good, man. You look very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's have me next.
Bro, I don't know. give me this time, I want to rest.
You want to rest?
Yeah,
listen, have a rest, have a holiday, see your family, your kids.
Many congratulations.
So, yeah, he's just too nice, old Parker. I mean, look at him here. He looks like Oliver Twist asking for more fucking porridge. I want to say, come on, Joe, put a bit of meat on the bone, bruv. Throw your toys out the pram. Imagine if that was Fury. He'd have said, right, Gareth, out me fucking way, and then he'd have absolutely blown the roof off. You'd have had John Fury in there as well, getting his nipples out, headbutting midgets. You know, you just got to be loud in this game to get what you want. Anyway, it is what it is. Regardless, no complaints from me about this fight because I know exactly what we're going to get. 2 of the toughest men in boxing taking bombs on each other's chin, and plenty exciting moments guaranteed. I mean, there's no denying it's absolutely friggin' awesome what Fabio's done with hardly any amateur background, and you got to give it to the man. He could have had a softer touch after a long slog with Hooney, but he never turns down a challenge. Big him up. However, this really is a serious challenge. You've only got to look at the early odds to see how many feel that Fabio is up against it. The one thing he's got going for him though is that he has been a bit more active than old Joseph, who's only had a measly 2 rounds in a year and a half against Mr. Nobody Wants to Smoke.
So needs to be very careful of the Piccoli power.
Times and he got clipped. So you've got to do that, but don't get too greedy. You just think, you know, I can let this go a few rounds and he should wear it out. He should tire it out.
Big punches from Parker.
See, Parker's got to stop loading up here. Otherwise, he'll be the one gassing out.
It's turning into a real fight. What a shot from Joe Parker.
So yes, Piccoli came in looking like Saul Goodman's fucking bouncer, and in the end it was light work for Parker, but best believe ain't no way Fabio's rolling over that easy. Now back to the Hooney performance, and yes, it weren't the best. Hooney was absolutely walking it. He was terrific that night, but sadly for him, his chin let him down once again. We knew he had vulnerabilities, and it took for the power of Fabio, as well as the very detailed, well-spotted analysis from Ben Davison to finally expose it.
His favourite split is to go that way.
Yeah.
We're jabbing and he's firing back. Instead of trying to time when he's firing back, more 1-2s. Quicker to put 1-2s behind that. No, if he's firing back a lot, so when you're putting jabs in his face and feints, you think, fucking hell, getting caught there. Instead of trying to time, oh, he's going to jab back on this one, more 1-2s, just proactively catch him out in between. When you're jabbing, boom, boom, that's happening quite a bit. Or you're putting him in the space, you're thinking, boom, 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 oh, fucking hell, I'm getting caught there. Instead of going, right, what's happening here? Let me try and time that. So boom, slip, boom. To not overcomplicate, more 1-2s. Yeah, so let's say I'm giving you a bit of lockdown, you're jabbing in the space and fainting. Boom, 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 that keeps happening. Back to it again. Boom, that keeps happening. More 1-2s. Boom, exactly. If I'm going to try and counter your jabs,
Just go for it.
you'll meet me with the right hand. Yeah? Don't let it end up coming.
Oh yes, absolutely superb work from Ben Davison. I mean, if we're being critical, it would have done Fabio a favour to do it a bit fucking sooner. No, I'm joking. Fair play, it's not the first time we've seen one of his fighters pull it out the bag when he's taken a bit of a pasting. But then what holes can they exploit in Parker come fight night? Well, it's no secret he ain't been too hard to catch clean throughout his career.
Be on him with the body, then be back on him again with another corner.
Massive left hand.
So luckily for Joe, he's got one of the best chins in the division, and most of the time he gets straight up, dusts himself off, and it's like nothing even happened, other than the Joe Joyce fight when he was absolutely fucked. Anyway, it's been smooth sailing for Joe since the Joyce loss, and here he is with 3 solid wins against 3 juggernauts of heavyweight boxing, and yes, they were all serious players regardless of whether you think they were at their best or not. But for Fabio, it's fair to say it's not been quite as smooth. We had a stellar performance against Adelaide on the Fury and Ngannou undercard. I mean, he never looked in any trouble that night, but then we had the draw against Fraser Clark in an absolute blinder to watch, but just like the Hooney fight, Fraser was able to pick him off quite a lot in that fight.
But a nice uppercut there from Clark off the back of a left hand. It's about him here.
Yeah, it was a big shot. Definitely did, because he took a few back, he backed off, wasn't
Him here.
Yeah, it was a big shot.
He kept those gloves up. He's on the receiving end though. The straight right hand gets through, and he's on the run here. Down he goes. Clark trying to line up a big right hand and got through with it. And he's a little bit unsteady as he does so. Manages to jab his way out of the corner. But Wardley letting his hands go. Sensing from Wardley. He grimaces and punches to the head. Clark comes back. And then into the body. He's got Wardley pinned on the ropes here. Fraser Clark going to look to try.
So he came out of it once again with the old Rudolph nose. However, he certainly made up for this performance in the rematch. But just quickly, chaps, before we finish off, let me introduce to you the official Proper Podcast sponsor, Fair Play. So Fair Play is the app that allows you to hold your mates accountable for those cheeky wagers. It's as simple as download the app, set up the game, lock in the funds, and you're all done. And the best part of it is everything between mates is completely free. Fair Play take nothing at all. You stick in a tenner, your mate sticks in a tenner, and the winner takes home the lovely 20. There's none of that, oh, I ain't got any cash, bruv. No, them days are long gone. And if you come over to the app with your pals, type in the code PROPER and you'll get a free $5 to use in that next game of golf, or however you please. There are plenty other things to do within the app as well. So download the Fair Play app on the App Store or Google Play Store today and save yourself some hassle.
One of those big winging overhands I was mentioning. He caught him on the temple, high on the head, I think, and you could just see legs to a little bit of a dance, and a left hand get through, and Clark is in trouble here, and he's touched down with 38 seconds remaining in the fight.
Fucking hell. So after seeing that, it's quite hard to understand how things went so pear-shaped in the first fight. Maybe Ben's telly was broken or something. Maybe someone lost the fucking remote. Anyway, we knew he hit hard, but we didn't know he hit that hard. Bloody hell. However, then came the Hooney performance, which, as mentioned, was a bit of a hard graft. Now, luckily for Fabio, Parker don't really fight like this. He don't have as much movement as Hooney, and he's never really shown to have quite the same amount of output as Hooney did that night. However, regardless of that, Parker is seriously quick. He's miles and miles more experienced, and judging by his record and the eye test, he hits a lot harder than Hooney as well. So Fabio's going to feel it a lot more if Joe does connect. Now then, let's say it as it is. This is a double tough night for old Wardley. He ain't been anywhere near this level so far, and he has had problems with fighters in the past who couldn't lace Parker's boots. Although the Hooney fight ended up being something special and showed how much of a warrior this man is, you just can't consider that a good measure going into a fight against a former world champion and who is now considered the number 2 heavyweight in the world. Now fair dues, Parker ain't always looked great. He has had quite a few pile of shit performances in his career. I mean, the Junior Farr fight comes to mind. That was a good watch. The Jack Massey performance when he came back from the Joe Joyce fight, and we could even go back to the Hughie Fury fight if we're really picking holes. But in the last couple of years, Andy Lee has got him looking a lot more tenacious in the ring, a lot more polished, and personally I think he's installed a lot more desire in him as well, because he used to switch off when things were going wrong, but that's no longer the case. Anyway, given his array of experience, the fighters he's been in with as well as beat, given his speed, his skill set, and the fact that he's riding high in confidence at the minute, it's no wonder a lot of people see this as a Parker win. Fabio ain't going to outbox him because that's just not what he does. He ain't going to outskill him, and he's going to see things from Parker that he's never come across before. So for that reason, I kind of feel like Fabio's left with only one option: knock him fucking spark out. And that's not being disrespectful, by the way, it's just a case of the apprentice coming up against the veteran. But I mean, let's have it, right? Can he knock Joseph Parker out? Yes, 100% os. The man hits like a wrecking ball. He's going to have to land a perler because Joe's got a very good chin, but he definitely is a beast when he smells blood, so it wouldn't be too much of a shock. But yeah, if it's a case of putting a prediction down, then a Parker late stoppage is where a mug like me would go, in a double exciting fight with two men too tough for their own good. But as always, big up Wardley, he's chasing greatness regardless whether some people see this fight as too soon or not. And you can just never ever rule this man out because he really does have the Deontay Wilder effect. And by the way, if he were to lose, it doesn't really matter, does it? He can bounce straight back. If Parker loses though, that's going to be a bit of a kick in the bollocks after getting this far. Anyway, bring it on, let me know what you think below. How do you see it going? You're all Parker, adios for now.